Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IFX Expo Asia 2023. Thank you for being with us the whole day today. We come to the last session of the today now. Okay. Now, I'm delighted to welcome you to the final session of the day, Cracking the Code, Insights to ACE, the APAC Market. Please welcome our moderator, Christopher Gore, Advisory Services at OTC Derivatives. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thanks, everyone. Much appreciated. A very special thank you for attending today's panel, ACE in the APAC market, cracking the code, insights to ACE the APAC market. We know there's no single formula to ACE the APAC market, so to speak, but success in many ways comes from trial and error. And certainly many of us has made many errors conducting our business over the years. So it's made up of many countries. We're talking about as many as 40 countries in the APAC region. So definitely the right strategy is contingent on many issues such as cultural issues and the like. And today we're going to get more of an insight into these things. We'll learn from specialists in our industry, those who have devoted a meaningful amount of time to the industry and have become experts over the years. If I could, I'd like to introduce you to perhaps one of the pioneers of our industry, Mr. Hayel Abu Hamdan, who's the Chief Commercial Officer at Hantec Markets. And Hayel kicked off his career in the 90s, actually, in the early 90s. Many of us, some of us weren't born then. I was, but some of us were in school. And he's gone on to head up many FX providers over the years, or CFD providers. And it's great to have him on board. Next, we have Karman, who's the head of emerging markets APAC at IG. So Karman has extensive experience in the East Asian region, most notably with IG, alongside companies like CMC, are generally considered to be have provided the blueprint to the industry that we've all been working in over the years. So Karman's been with IG for 10 years, and we're very pleased to have her on board and to share her insights. Thank you, Karman. Next, we've got Kamal, who's the head of sales of HonorFx. Kamal has extensive experience as the UAE. He's most notably ClickFX and HF Markets, and he comes to us by way of Dubai, where he holds a position of head of sales at HonorFx. A warm welcome to you. And lastly, we have Chissanupong Phichitthanuphong. My apologies. We're going to call him by his nickname, Bomb. Bomb's had extensive experience in Thailand across a few different providers, XM, Infonox, Hantec Markets, and now CXM Direct. He is the Thailand Manager. He has a deep knowledge of workings of the Southeast Asian market, and his mission statement is never stop improving. And I think we could all perhaps learn something from that, and leading on from that, kick into today's discussion. So thank you so much for joining us today, guys. I look forward to hearing your insights. So perhaps if we could, I think it's quite fitting to perhaps start off with one of the more, I guess, fundamental tenets of our business, which is client acquisition. And if I could start off with Karman, good business, in my view, means having good partners to some degree. So if I could get a bit of an insight from you in terms of your ethos, I guess you could say, and how to procure good partners, and some of the lessons you've learned along the way.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Chris. So I think for IG, because we are a FTSE listed company, and then with almost 50 years of the experience, so we understand that partners is very important, particularly to ensure that the quality of the services that they provide to our clients. So that's why when we onboard our partners and also finding the right partners, we have a very robust due diligence process to just make sure that they can also fulfill not only IG, but also the expectation from from our clients as well. And more importantly, because we believe that we would like to have a like long-lasting relationship with them, so we also will maintain a two-way dialogue with them, make sure that we understand each other's, and then so we can get the most of the desired value from both parties. Throughout the journey, of course, there will be a lot of challenges, and I think mainly the first one is how to find the right partners that we will be working with. So for example, like how can we make sure that both party can meet our business objectives and also the value. So for example, in IG, our purposes is to powering the pursuit of financial freedom for the ambitious. So what does it mean is that a lot of our successful partners, they normally will have target audience who are self-directed traders, and then they are looking for transparent pricing and sustainable and stable platform to achieve a positive client outcome in the longer term. So yeah, so that is one of the challenges that we will be facing, but we are articulating it. And secondly is about building the trust, particularly in Asia. So because IG brands is still developing in Asia, unlike some of the more mature markets in UK and also in Europe. So we do have offices in Singapore, Australia, and also Japan in Asia, but it will still require us to have time and investment into building the brand awareness. So what we have found out is that when we talk to the partners, we will educate them and try to talk them through about what is our market cap. We have a 2.5 billion of the market cap in like in pound, and also yeah, we have a very strong like balance sheet and also cash flow, and also very robust risk management like framework as well. So once the partners know more about us, they then feel more comfortable and also more willing to work with us, which is a very good like outcome for both of the party. Yeah.
Thank you. Kamal, if I could, moving into partner selection and structuring commercial terms, looking between things like IBs and affiliates. Can you give us a bit of a rundown what sort of process you use to I guess to structure commercial terms for partners in each region?
In Asian region, actually, the market is very big. There are many brokers who is providing these services, but you have to stand out because these markets are mostly 70% dependent on the IBs and affiliates, because most of the traffic is coming from there. So we also do the due diligence, and our 60% of the business comes from affiliates and IBs, and mostly IBs are fund managers in this region. Okay, so they need faster execution of the things and instant withdrawals and that kind of stuff for their investors. So most of the markets are covered by them. So we check them, what type of trading they are doing, what kind of services they need. So we customize them and like provide the services to them.
Gotcha. Hayel, if I could ask you, how much does product sort of localization play a part in your business within APAC?
I mean, localization is vital for success in any region, and especially in APAC. I mean, we keep referring to the region as APAC, but I think one of the, if you want to be successful, you've got to stop maybe calling it APAC, because as you said, it's quite a diversified region. Up to 40 countries can be in there. So when you localize your product, you're actually communicating to your audience that you've looked into their wants, their needs, their nuances, their trading habits. Everybody wants sort of a product that has the customer in mind. And when you localize your product, your communication as well, you're actually ensuring you're going to get customer satisfaction, which also gives you brand loyalty. So in our industry, especially in our industry, it's an extremely competitive industry. But when you're coming to APAC, do your homework, and you can't use a sort of a one-size-fits-all in any region. You've got to sort of target, localize your products, and make sure that you're going to get that brand loyalty. That's vital for the success in this industry.
Gotcha. Karman, you've had, I guess, one of the an advantage of being able to understand consumer preferences from an anecdotal perspective across different platforms, different patterns of behaviour, throughout APAC. Could you give us a bit of a rundown, a bit of a feel for the sort of trends that you're seeing over the years, particularly because you've got a number of different platforms. IG's, of course, got the very popular Pure deal, which has been around for many years and has introduced MT4 as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, what we found out is that a lot of our clients, they use both of the web trading platform and also the mobile apps as well. But we do seen a trend that more clients who particularly trading using mobile apps as their default trading platform, they are much younger than those one who choose to trade with the web trading platform. So for example, more than half of the clients, of IG clients who age like lower than 34 year old, actually they would choose to be trading with the mobile apps instead. So which is quite an interesting trend that we have been looking at. And also they are very satisfied with our apps as well. So more than 80% of that, they say that they will rate us as very good or good experience. And majority of that is actually like driven by how easy to use of our trading platform, the mobile apps. So what does it mean is that once they like open up the apps, that it's very easy for them to find the markets that they would like to trade. Just one button, check on it, and then they can just buy and sell with the place the order. So yeah, so this is one of the most important consideration for them. And also the other one is about stability of the platform, which IG has a very good uptime, which is 99.98% of that. And the other thing that we have found out is different client segmentation. They have also different needs. So for new traders, more of them are looking for having education to be integrated into the platform and the apps. So for example, IG, we have our IG Academy, which is providing some trading course for new traders and also our clients and even prospects. And just in 1 year, we have already have more than 1 million of the user just using the IG Academy, which is very amazing. And the other thing is, for example, like experienced trader, then they are more towards to trading and research tools, such as like economic calendars, chartings, or even performance analysis, all this type of like feature. So what we found out is that clients are generally, they are asking more for faster trading platform, better execution, more tools, more analysis, and also better user experience as well. Yeah.
Gotcha. Is this consistent with you guys across the board as well? Is that what you're seeing?
I just want to add one more thanks to it, because people are getting used to that the mobile apps already Meta is giving that on all that stuff, so they are using it now. Brokers are developing their own apps and like doing it easier for the clients. But in my perspective, I think so. When I train client, I teach client like how to trade. I have to teach them the technical analysis and many, and the decision making process should be a bit lengthy. They should filter on the basis of some factors. But in app, you like try to take decision very quick because it's on your fingertips. So in my view, first you should like learn or practice on the PCs, then you should go for the apps. It's my perspective. It could be different from you.
Well, having said that, we are seeing an increased level of sophistication with clients as well. Certainly over the last sort of 15 years or so, we've seen it change significantly, obviously the advent of high frequency trading systems. Do you think we're handling that
Yes, of course.
appropriately and evolving?
Of course, because the market is getting matured day by day. People are getting knowledge from YouTube's, lots of trainers. Even I have seen some YouTube videos who teach how to cheat, even like how to make money, like not by the normal means. So brokers have to like get prepared themselves for these things as well. Also, high frequency trading, yes, it's allowed, but liquidity providers also like warn us, like so that they can digest the flows in good way. So yes, we are preparing it with like some tools and software, some AI things we are integrating in our brokers soon. So now we can filter the toxic flow and like get the good flow.
Gotcha. Well, I'd like to move on to focus more on region-specific things, and certainly Chissanupong, you've been around for some time and managed quite a few providers here in on the ground from a B2B level perspective. I'd be interested from your point of view, to understand more of the cultural aspects of how the cultural aspects might affect your business here, and some of the, I guess, some of the challenges that you faced over the years.
Yeah, CXM Direct right now expand their business not only Southeast Asia but all around the world. We spend a lot of time on finding the best talent in many countries, and of course, by doing business in different countries, they are very different things. Sometimes really different, like in the mentality, culture, and way of doing business. There are way of doing business in different countries. Sometimes, what is the common for all of our employee? Teamwork, the sales goal, and of course, honest people. Also, in all the country, for our partner and clients, we are offering the best service and the best condition. That's why the team and business of CXM Direct are growing a lot in last year and this year.
Gotcha. Kamal, looking at some of the other sort of larger jurisdictions within the APAC region, you've had extensive experience, obviously in the UAE. But what about India? It's a region that we haven't really seen a lot of over the years. Is there any particular reason why we haven't sort of jumped in there and had a crack?
India is having the population of more than 1.5 billion now. So, and even the financial markets, local financial markets are very big there. It's exchange-based model, but it's a gray area. This forex things, because it's a margin trading, and we require very less margin to trade that. So government doesn't support that thing. So basically, whosoever is the broker, like I'm at HonorFx, so we comply with the regulations, like with strict policies. So we don't onboard the clients from the India as well, because it's a gray area. You cannot take payments, and it's not allowed to do there.
Is there any sort of leverage restrictions? Is that one of the issues associated with it as well?
Yeah, restrictions is obviously there. So why to like fight with the regulators
Gotcha.
for that? Means you have more bigger markets than that. Yeah, we know that there are big. The young population is there one in India, and they want to trade. Even they find some other means to deposits with some brokers who is operating in India. But still, at the end of the day, there is no benefit of like doing this stuff, which is like into black or gray. So it's better to keep into the white markets. So obviously, when we find that the government are like allowing us to do so, now they are opening some markets, some regions for the forex, and also they're providing some limited pairs to the people, but they're exchange. Once they will do that, obviously everybody wants to go there, and we will also go there then.
Gotcha. Well, while we're on the subject of regulation, we've seen a significant shift to offshore jurisdictions, of course, over the last sort of 5 years or so, with increased regulation, obviously product intervention in Australia and in the UK. Hayel, if I could ask you, how important do you still think it is to be sort of anchored to one of these top tier jurisdictions, such as Australia or the UK? Is it still an imperative from a reputational standpoint?
From my perspective, yes, it is. I mean, Hantec Markets is regulated both in Australia and in the UK. We're regulated by ASIC and the FCA. We have seen a setup of offshore jurisdictions that might, for various reasons, but most notably probably leverage is to get around the leverage scenario, and that's not just from a broker perspective. This is due to demand by our clients. Clients want to trade on leverage. They're attracted to this industry because of leverage. Now, leverage is there. You don't have to use it. But clients use leverage for more than one reason. It could be staying power, or it could be position sizing in terms of putting up the least amount of collateral for the size you're taking. So even though you have the brokers who are setting up in offshore jurisdictions, I think a connection with the top tier is vital. In the top tier jurisdictions, you have good regulation, you have a strong banking sector, you have it gives clients the confidence that you are tied into a regulation. I mean, the regulator's there to protect the client at the end of the day. You know, it makes the companies accountable. If you're, for any reason, encounter any issues with your broker, and that is offshore, you really don't have much chance of success with a particular claim or a complaint. But when you're dealing with a top tier regulator, then that does keep the brokers on their toes, and at the same time that gives confidence to the end user, to our clients. So from my perspective, I think it's vital to have a connection. By all means, choose an offshore jurisdiction if you so wish, but make sure that there is some sort of connection with a top-tier regulator such as the UK and Australia.
Gotcha. So one of the huge challenges that we face, certainly over the last 5 years ago, have been that of payment service providers. And one of the things I was looking forward to in this the expo is to get more of a feel about the latest innovations and things like that in terms of payments. Bom, if I could just ask you, from a perspective of operating in Southeast Asia, how important is it to acquire good PSPs for your business?
Yeah. We really care of the choosing PSP for the cooperation. Sometimes we take many months before we start with PSP because we are focusing on a lot of security of fund of our customer, and that's why we need to be sure 100% that the PSP that we will work with us is trustable. We are working on providing the best service to our customer. That's why our customer in Thailand can enjoy our instant deposit in and instant withdrawal. So that is very fast. That's like if client click withdrawal on our website, client can get money within 2 seconds. That is very fast. And for now, we think that is the fastest that we can provide.
Hayel, is this consistent with your experiences?
I mean, the choice of PSP, you've got to get it right. When choosing one, you've got to make sure that look at the are they integrated with the local banks? The more options that you give locally to your clients, the higher the chance that they're going to deal with you. Look into you choose a PSP. Can you deposit and withdraw in the same method? For example, what are the times it takes to get deposits and withdrawals? It should be within minutes. If there are any delays, that should be one red flag. Compare PSP's fees, for example. They should be sort of consistent with each other. If certain fees are much lower than what the standard of the industry is, that should be a red flag. It shouldn't be a positive. It should be a negative. Look at look at your own peers. Who have they integrated with? What PSP provider are they using? And that should be sort of we're in a sort of society where we're always looking for reviews and looking at such trust pilots and reviews. And the best review you can have is that a particular PSP is trading with several of your peers. We're all competing for in the same industry. We bump into each other at shows such as this. Speak to your peers, get their opinion about PSPs, who they use, and so there are many ways for which to find out. But you've got to choose, make the right choice. Look at limits, for example. What's the limits? What are the settlement times between of payments? But definitely, you need PSPs and local PSPs to attract the local clients. If you just go in with something and you don't have the local PSP integrated into your PSP provider, then chances are that you're not going to get very far.
We've all had PSPs over the years who have run away with the cash, so to speak. What about the risks? These risks associated with PSPs? Any sort of mitigation strategies used in the past? Is it just as simple as using a number of different PSPs and withdrawing the funds on a regular basis?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to spread your risk, but you get to know your PSPs, visit your PSPs, look at their networks. Don't leave large amounts of funds with each one. Set your limits. You reach your limit. You do your settlements. So there are many ways, but the risk is there. The risk is always there, we've heard horror stories. But if you do your due diligence and you just keep small amounts with each one, then you're mitigating the amount of risk that you're facing.
Gotcha. Anyone else have any views on PSPs and in general? No problem. Let's move on to talent, which is crucial. It's also, I guess, a fundamental sort of tenet of running any business. Karman, if I can ask you how crucial it is, or from your perspective, how do you find the right talent? And perhaps even more important than that, how do you keep the talent?
Yeah, it is really important to find the right people when we enter into a new market because each of the market is so different in a lot of aspects. So, for example, demographic, culture, like client segmentation, competitor, or even partners, etc. So, having the right people who knows all these like inside out is the key successful factors when we would like to penetrate to a new markets. So, what we do from an IG perspective is that because people is always at the center of what we do. So we try our best focusing on cultivating the talented and also dedicated people, particularly for our growing and also global team. So what we have found out is that the more that we invest into the people, then it can allow us to also deliver more high quality services, more robust like consumer like services as well, and also like providing more contents to our clients as well. So and on the other side, we think that the client engagement is also very important in two ways. So first is how do we communicate and also share information about our business strategies and also the industry updates, and at the same time, how can we gather the feedback from the people that to enhance their experience with IG? Yeah, because that is the most important point to help us to keep them, yeah, and retain them, and this also help us to deliver better services to not only our clients but also community that we operate as well. So so this is the key one that we are doing from an IG perspective. Yeah.
Anything to add? Anyone got anything to add? Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add these things because our industry is very transparent and open, and finding a talent is and keeping it is very hard because when you are become a part of the company, you teach people how to make money, and you also know that how to make money. So in other perspective, you can also leave the company at any stage because you have some talent to make money. So there is an alternative career always with the salespeople. But when you teach them and like grow them from the scratch, I think this is the very best strategy. You prepare the people for the war, like you build an army, not like hiring just experienced people. You build an army, teach them and train them how to treat customers and how to be like authentic and serve them. Then I think they will be with you always.
Gotcha.
I mean, I think that is a bit of a long tail strategy to take. Everybody wants to sort of get their own people in and start at the bottom and then work their way up through the company. But to add to that, I think you have to add a mixture of experience. You have to mix sort of fresh talent with experienced talent to get the right mix there. Now, getting talent acquisition is not easy. It's very difficult because everybody is after the best people. So it becomes a competition for getting the best people because it's not just us who are after them. Our peers are also after the best people. So you have to find ways. You have to build sort of an engaging culture, a positive culture within the industry. Hiring, everybody knows, is extremely expensive. The whole process of advertising, interviewing, choosing the right candidate, and more often, there are sometimes you're not going to get it right from the first time. So I think to actually grow a team from within is commendable. It promotes a nice working culture, less gaps in your sort of procedures and systems and procedures. It's good for brand loyalty. The customers know that people have been with a certain company for a longer time, so they're likely to stay with that particular company. But I think the key is to find that right mixture between experience and finding fresh young talent, if you like, to sort of absorb and buy into the DNA of your company. So that's what I'd like to add to what Kamal had to say.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like you don't really have a choice. You kind of, I know in Australia, for example, looking at compliance roles, sometimes it's a case of sort of growing someone and sort of finding someone who has a genuine interest in becoming a compliance person or whatever it may be, and really sort of nurturing that person and and teaching them about the industry. And I think our industry is particularly good at that, actually. We are particularly good at sort of showing the people the ropes, and you guys are all obviously a testament to that over the years. In terms of one of the things that we didn't talk about before in technology was the AI side of things. Obviously, it's on the lips of everyone at the moment, and I want to put it out to each of the panel members in terms of how they think our industry and obviously their businesses themselves are going to actually change over the years with the advent of artificial intelligence. From my perspective, I can see that there's businesses putting out more content, obviously, with ChatGPT and the like. But I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. What do you guys think of the way our businesses are going to change in the next sort of 5 years' time? Start with you, Mel.
Yeah, actually, it is a very early stage, I think so, for the AI things into trading. Yes, people are making robots from the help of AIs and all that stuff. But I don't know, our backend infrastructure is ready for that now or no. Because, there are many challenges in accepting, because in last 2-3 years some toxic robots people are making to manipulate their brokers as well. But now if AI is doing the good thing and they are making strategy that is not harmful for the broker and good for the clients as well, then it's okay, then it can be done. And let's see how much more development is going on this section. So we have to wait and watch, and then like prepare ourselves. I think this should be the step.
Kamal?
I think for us, because we are a digital first company, then obviously all this type of like technology development will have quite a lot of impact to us. So I think, for example, like AI exposure to the mainstream consciousness about like ChatGPT, or there are more expectation from the super apps and also metaverse like experience. All these are a very key consideration for us to look into, and how we can have some actionable strategy to make most of it. But on the other side, what we also found out is that is AI-infused investment-related initiative. We think that it will still take some time to get some tractions. So from a company perspective, what we think is really important for us to balancing and also analysis in between the opportunities and also the challenges in between, and try to prioritize what is really important for us at this moment, and then come up with a longer term solution and strategy for that. Yeah.
Gotcha. You guys have anything further to add? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could divide it into sort of client-facing roles or more back-office, back-end roles. From a client-facing roles, you can have, let's just say, chatbots and avatar doing customer service. They could be doing webinars on the metaverse, for example. From a back-end perspective, You can look at risk management, so you can improve your risk management. You can look at your marketing activity. You can be able to, AI can sort of control where your spend is, when to stop it, when to start it. You can look at, Kamal's touched upon expert advisors, for example, robots doing some trading. They're going to get more sophisticated with time. So I think you need to embrace it and use it as a tool. One, to improve your processes internally, and two, to improve your client experience, if you like, user experience. You can probably use it also in improving your client journey. So there are many ways with which you can embrace it. Depends how far you want to push it, and what time you have to do it. But I think the point here is that it needs to be embraced. I think if you don't embrace it, you're going to be left behind.
Gotcha. And just also going back, a point that I missed before about being competitive. We've seen the industry change significantly over the years, and it's from your point of view, Hayel. It's much more than just about spinning up an MT4 platform and sort of putting it out there. If you build it, they probably won't come. You've got to be pretty special. From your point of view, what have you seen over the years? Some of the fundamental sort of tenets of these businesses that can assist you from a client acquisition standpoint.
I mean, it's not just a platform. You can have the best platform. If you don't have the best liquidity on there, then it's a waste of a platform. If you don't have the most automated client journey, then you're not going to get clients on board to use your platform, even though it has the best liquidity. So it's all a package together. It's all entwined. It's a jigsaw puzzle. You got to get the LPs. In our industry, for example, in this region, and probably you can say in a lot of the regions, it's very IB centric. So you've got to have the right IB portal. I mean, us at Hantec, we use, we see all our IBs as sort of an extension of our business development team. So work close with them, have dialogue with your IBs. They're on the ground. Make sure that the tools that you're giving them are sufficient to attract the business. So it's much more than just getting an MT4, doing a little bit of marketing, and hey ho. It takes a lot more work, as everybody on this panel will vouch for. It's not as simple as just a plug and play with an MT4 or an MT5 platform.
Thank you very much. Might put it out to the audience if they've got any questions for our panellists today. We've got 3 minutes. No questions? Tom, excellent. Thank you.
Hello there, I'm loud. Tom Higgins from Goldeye. I've got a question. So we're a technology provider. If we want to start selling to clients in APAC, where should we put our offices to be able to sell to these markets? Where should we locate them physically?
Hi, Tom. I mean, you're looking at providing to an institutional base. So Singapore is an option. It depends what your target audience are, who are your clients at the end of the day. I know brokers.
Let's say retail brokers as the start.
Then I would say probably Singapore or Malaysia.
Obviously, one of the many companies are operating from major jurisdictions like Australia still, so they're obviously having their Australian personnel manage all of their offshore. And there are various problems with that, but it seems still the theme du jour that many of the onshore providers are operating offshore jurisdictions from onshore. So, but certainly places like Singapore, in my opinion, would be a good place to start. Singapore and Malaysia, yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Maybe I will add one more. Yeah, Hong Kong will be another option as well, I would say, because it's just from geographic perspective, it's very in the central of the of Asia. particularly, and more importantly, it's also very close to like China, for example, Greater Bay Area. There's a lot of technology experts over there as well. I believe that it will be another very good options. Yeah.
Excellent. I think we're finished. Thank you very much. A round of applause for the panelists today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.